What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter. Today, both me and Ben are crippled, and Mets Talk with Hayden is joining us. We will be grading every team's offseason today, so you know what time it is. Time to banter, yeah.
You gone?
What's going on, guys? Wisdom Teeth Boy in the house. Welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter. Today, we got an awesome special guest, and both of us are crippled today. So I guess we'll go for that first. Oh, God, it's string from this thing in my mouth. All right, so as you can tell, I got wisdom teeth surgery, which sucked. Well, it wasn't that bad, but it was just the after it. I haven't been able to eat food that requires chewing since Sunday night. So nothing but soup and oatmeal. So that sucks.
Dude, you gotta get some yogurt in there.
You sprained your leg today. What happened?
So I had a baseball, practice yesterday and did a lot more sprinting than I should have. And then I tried going for a run today, and I just we're thinking I pulled a muscle in my Achilles, but it's pretty bad. So, we're both pretty crippled now. Elias is officially a crip.
Hopefully nothing happens.
Yeah, Hayden, you got bad luck coming with us, man.
You're screwed now.
Yeah. No, but anyways, guys, we only have, I'm taking this thing off. Fuck it. I just been putting it on for shows. So, today we will be grading every team's offseason, and we got 3 opinions instead of 2. And also, we'll have callers on. So let me get the link in the chat. I haven't done that yet because I'm bad at this whole streaming thing.
We have to get
if you guys want to come.
Mr.
Yeah, if you guys want to come in.
Mr. Manfred.
Oh, yeah, we need Manfred. We need Taiwan Walker. We need Beat 'em Ups. Math, or was it, what was the last time? Crumbum?
Oh, yeah, Crumbum.
Hopefully they do. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, dude, I just need a damn face reveal. He said 200 subscribers, but that's not happening anytime soon. So, but anyways, guys, dude, I'm now pinning the link in the chat. Why don't we get started with these offseason grades? And if, of course, we're taking calls, we'll be doing comments, the usuals. But that's kind of the only set topic because news is kind of non-existent now, except for there's some injuries. There's spring training games. No one really gives a shit, though. The Mets got blown out, but who cares? It's just some bump. we learned that Jacob Barnes isn't good. So, and that the catcher we DFA'd and traded hit a home run off of us. So that's pretty funny. But in Ali Sanchez. So let's get started. Why don't we? So I have it by division. I'll go first, and then you guys can go after me.
Sure.
Let's start with Ben. Let's start with your Yankees, man. I gave the Yankees a C+. So at first, wasn't going the greatest. And here's my issue why I gave it a C+. The Automatavino trade I hated. And you're there's so many guys are such high risk guys, like super injury prone guys, like Jameson Taillon, Corey Kluber, super injury prone. And I mean, I like the Justin Wilson, Darren O'Day signing. Maybe bump it up to a B, but I wish they would have done a little more I think this is a time to go all out for, a World Series. So I think signing a guy like, Taiwan Walker, like a mid-tier guy, which obviously he's a Met now, which is great. I would have liked that move over more of a kind of a very high-risk move like Jameson Taillon or Corey Kluber. So I'm going C+. Ben, how about you?
I'm actually going a B+ here because a Taiwan Walker, in my opinion, I would rather get 2 high-risk, high-reward starters than 1 medium-risk, medium-reward kind of guy in Walker. Because
is Jameson Taillon better than Walker?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He broke out with the Pirates. He was very good in those few innings.
Every pitcher that leaves the Pirates also turns into a stud usually. So good point.
Exactly. There. And we also just got the gas station going up. So Taillon has actually revamped his entire mechanics. So I'm super high on revamping mechanics after injuries because those tend to lead to good results. And then also we signed Derek Dietrich. So
okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, hit some bat flips, gonna crush right-handed pitching, gonna do absolutely nothing against lefties. He signed Jay
Bruce. What we
signed
him for.
Hold up, I feel out of place. I need to go grab a hat. I'll be back in 1 sec.
All right, I do agree with you. The Ottavino trade was the most questionable move in Cashman's career, probably, because he wasn't bad last year other than that
The
game.
Yep.
And he was a great addition to our bullpen. Now, he had a hateable face, so I'm not super mad about it. But after losing Canely to the Dodgers and for the rest of the next year because of Tommy John, we definitely needed an elite arm over two above average arms in O'Day and Wilson. And Ottavino provided that arm. So that's what's keeping them down for me from any higher of a grade. But they did what they set out to do, and that was to sign DJ and to get two more starting pitchers, and that's exactly what they did.
All right, Hayden, how about you, man?
Well, yeah, I agree with what Ben just recently said. I'd probably give the Yankees a B-. And I think the reason is, like Ben just said, the Yankees, well, they had two, goals this offseason. Re-sign DJ and, get some starting pitching depth. DJ they got. The terms for the contract is a whole other story, I feel. $15 million annually. I think it'll be a bargain going down the line with LeMahieu, but I think that was Cashman's goal this offseason was to get LeMahieu, get starting pitching. Now, this is my problem with the starting pitching was, you sign a guy like Corey Kluber, who, as, everyone said a million times, he's injury prone. If he can go back to that Cy Young season that he had a couple years ago and how he played, that rotation will be fire. Having a Garrett Cole and then Kluber, that would be nasty. That was my biggest problem was when Kluber signed because, the Yankees, they're trying to avoid injuries. Did we see what happened to them this past season when 60 to 70% roster got injured? So
Ben did
take the risk on wanting to sign more. So that was my only question in regards to that. But I think also, everyone was expecting the Yankees to make a huge splash to obtain someone new. And I think, we looked at how the pandemic treated baseball this season, where, you look at a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers who rely on their revenue from fans in the stands. They get so many fans in the stands, weekly sellouts on Tuesdays, Fridays, you name it. That's their revenue, where they didn't rely on that much this season. So, it's not that they lost money, they just didn't make as much. So a lot of that would go to the players' contracts. But I'd honestly give them a solid B-. They accomplished their two goals. Could they have done more? They got some, smaller moves, Tyon, Chirinos, Dietrich. But I'd give them a solid B-. I think is fair.
All right, cool. So we got C+, B. You said B+, Ben, and B-, right? All right, Red Sox coming next. F. No doubt in my mind. F.
Wow.
Their starting pitching was a disaster last year. And besides getting Eduardo Rodriguez back and maybe getting Chris Sale back towards the end of the year, what the hell did they do? I mean, Garrett Richards, does that get you excited? I mean, you can't just say, they did all these moves. They got Kike Hernandez and Marwin Gonzalez. Those aren't their biggest needs. And they traded for Andrew Benintendi, which I know he hasn't been good recently, but he's been a top prospect. There's something there. They traded him for a bag of peanuts. Well, actually, I mean, who do they trade? Franchi Cordero.
And
a bunch of prospects.
I'm kinda high on him.
I mean, that's not terrible, but I mean, you could have done better. And then what? Hunter Renfroe, like that doesn't get me excited, especially for the Red Sox. I'm giving them an F. Is it a bit harsh? Maybe, but how bad their rotation was last year, they needed to do something. And I mean, they got under the luxury tax. You thought they might start spending money again. They didn't spend anything. So for me, they get an F. Ben, how about you?
I went with a D+ because they didn't address the pitching enough. One starter and one reliever isn't going to cut it with, not really sure how to pronounce this, but Hirokazu Samaru.
Which team are we talking about?
Good shit, Ben. Good shit, Ben. Okay.
Thank you. I'm practically Asian. The Marwin and Enrique signings were just incredibly strange to me. They did not need either of them. Maybe one at most. They stole Adam Ottavino, which I think keeps them away from an F. Franchi and the Benny trade, I don't really think anyone's going to win that, to be completely honest. It was just kind of a failed offseason. You replaced Jackie Bradley with Hunter Renfroe, and Jackie Bradley was much better than Renfroe last year. So it was
I think Verdugo's going to take over center field, and then Hunter Renfroe is going to play right with Cordero in left, or Hernandez or Marwin Gonzalez in left, something like that. Hayden, how about you?
Well, I think in regards to the Red Sox, I think, the team wanted to prioritize versatility this offseason, and I think that's what they did. They got Henrique Hernandez and Marlon Gonzalez, I believe is their names,
Yep.
which I think those two players give them, they throw them really at many positions as they please. Like you said, they signed Hunter Renfroe from the Rays once they let him go, which was nice. I think a big loss was Benintendi. Although I don't want to say it was a big loss because we still have to see if it was a good trade or not. In regards to all parties, how they all perform, especially with Benintendi. The last season or two, he hasn't been super great. Otherwise, I mean, JBJ has yet to sign. I don't know if he will resign or not, but I give him a solid C. Maybe if they re-sign JBJ, I'd amp it up to a C+, but I give them a solid C.
All right.
Yeah, I just expect so much more out of the Boston Red Sox. I don't know. I mean, they were so bad last year. So, I mean, they're literally just trying to be the Rays, it seems like. I mean, they got Heim Bloom, and now they're, penny pinching and getting versatile pieces. I mean, they brought back Cora, so that's a good move, I guess. But I'm maybe, but I didn't really put
not allowed
managerial.
How does that work?
What's up?
Now, but no Beltran in baseball.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, but I'm not putting managerial hirings in this. All right, up next, I got the Tampa Bay Rays. I got them at a D. They just didn't really do anything. I mean, trading what's his name, Alvarado was dumb. They traded Snell. They got a good package for him, but then they signed a bunch of other starting pitchers, which they clearly were going quantity over quantity or quantity over quality. Bring back Chris Archer. Michael Walker is probably going to be a Cy Young pitcher with them because
of course
that's what the Rays do. But I mean, it's the Rays. They didn't do much. They never ever really have good off seasons. So I gave them a D, but I mean, not awful.
Yeah, I went with C-, and the reason being is that they got Luis Patino back for Snell, and he's going to be a stud. This is a typical Rays trade. Rich Hill, I think, was kind of under the radar. I think he can give them a solid. Yep, 80 innings maybe. Not necessarily starter quantity, but he'll be good. Re-signs Zunino, which is, I mean, he kind of sucked last year. And then trading Jose Alvarado for absolutely dog shit pieces was just really questionable to me. So, I mean, other than Luis Patino and Rich Hill, there was nothing there. They lost Charlie Morton too to the Braves, so just very unsuccessful.
Yep, they still got the most overrated pitcher in baseball. They got Glasnow, who MLB doesn't shut up about.
Well, now I
know, right?
But,
if I may intercede here, I think the reason I don't want to say Glasnow so much overrated. I just think it's that social media always posts pictures of him and displays him because he's a tall guy, long hair. If you want to say he's attractive, go ahead, whatever. So
I think he's kind of attractive.
Show that
he's a good-looking dude. Yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
6'8".
Fuck yeah, Tyler Glasnow.
6'8", 6'7" guy. So of course they're gonna show him off. So the fact that MLB's always showing him off on Instagram and Twitter, well, that's gonna make people think, this guy must be really good. So when he performs how he usually does, overrated.
Okay, so you think he's more so overhyped than overrated?
Yes, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Damn, look at him, man.
The cheekbones are what gets it for me. So defined.
The mole. Amazing, man.
But in regards to my honestly off season with the Rays, I give them a C. Like we stated, they lost Morton and Snell.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah, I give them a C. As I said, they lost Morton and Snell, who were the two best pitchers that they've had on the team for the last 3 years. They got Chris Archer. I don't really know how he'll perform. I don't think it'll be anything similar to how he was with them in 2018. But I think it was a disappointing offseason for the Rays, especially coming off of a World Series berth. But, I mean, they got some young prospects. The Rays, they're a cheap team, so they rely on their prospects. But I'm just concerning with the pitching depth. You got Glasnow, Yarbrough, and, Waka. And
Rich Hill. Yeah. Ben, what's up?
50-year-old Rich Hill.
If Luke Voigt gets injured this season and they go to Dietrich could homer off of Chris Archer again.
Ooh, okay.
I would love to see that.
Even if Voit doesn't get injured, I mean, pinch hit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, when do you need to pinch hit?
I mean,
Honestly.
Dietrich's useless in the field too, so he's not going to play then. But
shoot, my camera's off.
Oh, no, you're good. All right, so up next, I got the Orioles. I'm giving them a C. A lot of these rebuilding teams, if they didn't do anything, I don't expect them to do anything. Neither should they do anything. They got Freddie Galvis. That's a good glove to help your pitchers out. And there's no point in signing all these free agents because you could just acquire, let your young guys play, see what you have there. So I'm giving them a C. I have nothing else to say, really.
All right. I'm going with a B. Just because the Freddie Galvis signing could turn into another Jose Iglesias, in which, I don't know, Galvis could go off and then they trade him away for good pieces. But they also signed King Felix. So props to them.
And Matt Harvey.
And Matt Harvey. We love King Felix here.
Get lightning in a bottle. Yep.
No, it doesn't even matter how he pitches. I'm just glad they signed King Felix because I want to see him pitch again.
Everyone loves King Felix, man.
Yeah.
It's weird not seeing him in a Mariner uniform, but
it's so weird.
Still gotta love the guy,
Mm-hmm. Same, just Harvey too. Just whenever I see Harvey in another uniform, like a Royals or Angels, I'm like, oof.
Well, I stopped liking Harvey even when he was still on the Mets. All the shit he was doing, he was always out partying and shit. He's like Johnny Manziel, but actually could play the sport. So, all right, up next we got the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm giving them an A. Wait, what's up?
I need to rate the Orioles, boy.
Oh shit, you didn't. Oh shit, what's your grade for the Orioles? My bad. Sorry,
honestly,
man. Talking about Johnny Manziel.
There's not really much to say with the Orioles. I mean, I'd give them a solid D. There's really nothing to say that, like you said, they got Freddie Galvis, and I think they got the Iglesias trade. Otherwise, that's really it. I mean, for a team that's rebuilding, I just give them a D, honestly.
All right.
Yep. All right, coming up next, Toronto Blue Jays. They get an A for me. Phenomenal offseason. Not quite an A+ because they didn't address starting pitching enough. So they brought back Robbie Ray, which was nice. I still think he can be there's a decent pitcher in there somewhere. As a back-end guy, not bad. Matt's trade, say what you want about it. I think Matt's is bad, but whatever. But George Springer and Marcus Semien in the same offseason, especially Marcus Semien coming off a down year, you don't have to pay him that much. And that also gives your lineup a lot of defensive flexibility. And, excuse me. So, just the George Springer signing was just amazing. It reconfigures their teams in so many ways. You can get guys like Teoscar Hernandez, at DH. You don't have to play him in the field anymore. And then the Marcus Semien signing, it improves your defense too because now Vladdy can stay at first. You can move, Biggio over to third. Or something like you can do a lot of stuff. So I really like what the Blue Jays did. They went out and they spent money, but they don't have an egregious payroll because they got so many young guys. So they're spending, but they're spending responsibly. So they get an A for me. I would have liked them to seen a little more done in the starting pitching department. Maybe brought back like a Taijuan Walker or something, but or maybe a Jake Odorizzi. He's still out there on the market. That would be a good fit for them. So I would like to see that a little more, but really good offseason by the Blue Jays. You got George Springer and Marcus Semien, so and Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates too. Tremendous pickup there. So A for me. How about you, Ben?
That's what I was about to say. You want to go? Let's switch up the order. Let's make it versatile.
So I gave the Blue Jays a B+. I think they upgraded their offense and defense. They got Springer, who's a big upgrade from Reno Grichuk, of course. They got Kirby Yates for the bullpen. It's just my biggest concern is pitching. Their offense is there, their defense is there, and the fielding. It's just pitching. Behind Hyun-Jin Ryu, who else do you have? Nate Pearson. He's a heavily top prospect. If he performs how he's been talking about, that'll be great. But I think besides, Hyun-Jin Ryu, who's proven himself, who else do you have? I mean,
Steven Matz.
Steven Matz.
Steven Matz. Robbie Ray. What's his name?
Robbie Ray Stripling. Carried a no-hitter into the 6th inning last year. But he had to be
he also walked like half the batters he faced. Yeah, he walked like half the batters he faced.
No, but overall, the Blue Jays, I think a solid, around the B ballpark, I guess is good. Semien, good defender, good with the bat. Same for Springer. I guess that's my take.
Y'all are such negative people. I'm feeling a high A, low A.
B?
Yeah, B is
I
way
gave him
too
an A.
low.
If they address
I gave him an
pitching,
A.
if they address pitching
Yeah,
more, I would have given an A.
You gave them the Red Sox an F. I'm feeling a high A to a
I'd
low
not
A
give the Red Sox
minus.
an F.
A
You should give the
plus
Red
here.
Sox an F. You're supposed to hate them. You're supposed to be a Yankee fan.
Here,
It's hard to hate people like that can only win when they cheat, and like when they don't cheat, they kind of suck. It's
Yeah,
kind of
now-
just like
Yeah.
a pity feeling for them.
Ooh, oh, you want to go?
Whoa. Oh shit, he gone. Where'd he go? All right, fine. We're breaking out jerseys.
We're
screw
outdated
you.
as hell.
Oh,
We
whoa.
outdated as fuck out here.
You
I
want
got
to
this
talk
shit for
real?
10, $20 at Marshall's.
You want to talk about real outdatedness?
Oh,
How
yeah?
about a
Oh,
Hunter
God.
Pence jersey?
Hunter Pence
before-
Giants jersey.
Before he left
where
the
socks like
Giants.
really high? Does it come with socks?
No, it did not come with
Oh,
syrup.
yeah, you got nice tall socks.
That'd be pretty cool.
Nice tall
That
black
would be
socks.
sick.
All right, let's move on. We're done flexing off our me and Ben below average jersey collections and
Outdated
Hayden elite
jerseys.
jersey collection. Yep. All right, let's move on to let's go to NL East next. Let's not go in
Ooh,
too
all
much
right.
order. I want to talk about this team because New York Mets, they get an A. Oh wait, wrong thing. Oh shit. Hey baby. All right, so what did the Mets do? Good. Oh shit. Oh, too much technology. What did the Mets do? Good question. They sort of got this guy named Francisco Lindor. He's pretty
Who's
decent.
who?
What else did the Mets do? Yeah, this
I think the
he's
Mets
like some
also got some
shortstop.
guy named James McCann. I never heard of him, and
Yeah,
some
he's
guy
pretty
Carlos
Carrasco. Yeah, some
Nah,
cookie guy.
They
Yeah.
sound kind of average at best. to
Taiwan
me.
Walker. He's pretty good. They got the guy Trevor May. He's pretty decent. Joey Lucchese. He's all right. Aaron Loop. He's a stud.
Honestly, he's
But
the
yeah.
one guy I never heard of when we signed him. I was like,
Oh,
who
really?
is that?
He's good.
He's a side armor, man. You
good.
gotta know
He's
that
good.
side armor.
Lefty side armor. He's gonna be a lead against. He's gonna be like the old Jerry Blevins, but better. But which Jerry Blevins pitched really well yesterday in spring training. But speaking of which, so Mets get an A, not quite an A plus because I would have liked them to sign one of the big free agent signings. They could bring their grade up also to an A plus if they extend Conforto and Lindor. However,
Oh, okay.
they got Francisco Lindor. That's kind of that you pretty much automatically get an A for a team that sucks at defense. Your defense goes up. Team that sucks at base running, your base running goes up. And team that has a ton of left-handed hitters, no switch hitters. Francisco Lindor's a switch hitter, perfect fit for the Mets, and you really didn't give up too much. So I'm giving the Mets an A, not quite an A plus, but an A. Hayden.
I'd probably give the Mets a solid A too. I think they had a great offseason. I think our original goal was to go after the top three: Realmuto, Bauer, or Springer. And I think if you were to tell me right now that we didn't sign any of those three guys, I would have cried and said this offseason was a failure. But we went around the
Season's over already.
opposite. In the beginning, everyone was saying that, there's going to be no trades. If it's a trade, it's going to be minor. We're going to look on more free agents.
Right.
I said that, and a lot of the Mets.
Cohen said it on Twitter. He said, "Good job to the Padres. They have the farm system that can have and they can make these kinds of trades." A week later, freaking Lindor to the Mets confirmed. Also, Christian Bregman agrees. A. Maybe that's Alex. This guy's related to Alex Bregman. Christian,
yes.
your family member's a cheater.
But
Elias,
overall, I give them an A.
What?
I think we should ban him.
No. There's only that one
Okay,
guy I
okay.
banned because I had Rob Manfred told me to ban him, so I had to.
Oh,
Damn.
of course. I mean, if you don't listen to Manfred, you won't ever go to another Mets game.
Oh yeah.
No, but I think generally back to the Mets, they got James McCann. He was one of their first moves. He's great with the glove, great with the bat. He's not super great, but he's not super bad. He's around average, maybe a little bit more. His framing starting to get better. I kind of glad we signed McCann over Realmuto, personally, if you ask me. So we got Realmuto. Trevor May was I think our first signing. Great to help strengthen that bullpen. He could even turn out to be a closer if Diaz sucks. And then with Lugo, that's a question mark. But we got May, we got McCann, we got Lindor. He will tremendously help out JD Davis at shortstop. He will strengthen the left side of the middle infield, so that should be great. We got Cookie Carrasco help strengthen that
Stroman's back. Forgot to mention that. Stroman's back.
Marcus Stroman signed him in the beginning of the offseason to help. Hopefully, he could actually do what he's saying he's going to do. He goes around.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Cy Young.
No, then after I watched that video, I was thinking we got to do a video like impersonating different press conferences. Like, just ask me a question.
Yes.
I'll let me talk Marcus Stroman style. Ask me a question.
All right. So
Marcus,
what's your favorite city in New York?
Why do you post a lot of pictures on Instagram?
Yeah, man, my body feels great. I'm in that right state of mind. I went to Duke, I tore my ACL, and then I went straight back to college, man. Height doesn't measure heart, man. That's the most important thing. And my stuff's nasty, man. So, yeah, I'm going to win a Cy Young this year. I know my velocity was down, but that don't matter. My stuff's nasty, dude. So, oh, yeah, and check out my new album.
But I think.
What do you think of New York?
That's my only Stroman is that he goes around saying, "Oh, he's this Cy Young pitcher." We haven't seen that yet. We got him, in July. The Blue Jays, that's another story. But he started to perform well with the Mets, so hopefully he could transition that into 2021. He could be a second or third starter, and then we got Cookie Carrasco, who is recovering from cancer. So hopefully
he's fully recovered.
Yeah, he's starting to. He recovered great. Comeback player of the year. So hopefully he could help strengthen that rotation. And then otherwise that we had a pretty successful offseason, I'd say. We got Lucchesi. He'll either be a potential bullpen or fifth. He'll be like the Seth Lugo kind of debatable where he goes.
Exactly, long guy. Yep.
Jordan Yamamoto, he's young. He has plenty of stuff to offer. Whether it's his control is another story. But honestly, the Mets offseason was a success, and everyone's going around saying, "Oh, we didn't do this, we didn't do that." Yeah, when was the last time we signed this many All-Stars in an offseason? I mean, what, 2006? 2000?
Yeah.
Not that I remember or recall. These past offseasons, we had Wilson Ramos or Asdrubal Cabrera.
Last offseason, they tried getting us excited about Michael Wacha and Rick Porcello.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like at FanFest, it was them in Batanz. It's like, check out our new free agent signings.
I don't want this. And then, Machado's over. And Garrett Cole's wearing pinstripes. And I'm like, I don't want this crap. I want that. But to be honest, the Mets, I'd give them an A.
Ben, how about you?
Right. I can't believe that I'm the only non-Mets fan that's actually going all in with the A+.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I loved you guys this offseason so much because you addressed everything you needed to address. You came in with the plan and you executed the plan, whether that was because I thought you were saying no. You didn't necessarily.
I said,
yeah. Instead of getting Bauer, you got Carrasco. You got other pitchers that can definitely perform at a solid level, and you don't want to be paying $40 million a year for Bauer. I'm sorry, $40 million for anyone is too much. DeGrom, actually, DeGrom's worth it.
I'd pay DeGrom $40 million.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get Bauer.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing that came out today? The reason he signed with the Dodgers is because his merch thing happened. Like, he was like, just sign with the Mets. Who cares? I'm like, that's a bit impulsive. And Rachel's like, Trevor, what do you actually want? And then he said this.
Yo, cigar on the mic with the one and only Wicked.
You listen to
sit here and kick it.
Back in, I think, high school.
Now here's a little look at how we grew up.
Just listen.
Back then was a diamond in the rough, baby, growing up invisible while I was sure tough. I'm gold now because I shine in all I do like a 24.
Yeah, he was like, nah, I can't be a rapper because Marcus Stroman, he's going to give me some competition in the rap game. So he's like, no, I'm going that way. But
he's going to the West Side now.
He's going West Coast. Yeah. So, yeah. Ben, is that all you had to say about New York Mets having a great offseason? I am Alex Bregman. Well, nice to see you, Alex Bregman. You're not the best third baseman in baseball, and you're a cheater. Boom.
I like his batting stance.
And you haven't.
Oh, I think it's annoying as hell.
He stands like,
I hate it. It's like,
I hate it so
it's
much.
It's like stiff and shit. I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing.
Just stand there like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
You guys needed those right-handed switch-hitting bats, and I mean, listen to this: McCann rakes lefties, Lindor hits well against lefties, Pilar rakes against lefties. And
Pilar hit a
Jose
triple
Martinez.
first at bat today.
Nice,
In spring training, he hit a triple. Yeah, I was watching it when we were in science class. Me and Ben was in science class. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching spring training, and but then our pitchers, we had our like C squad pitching. So,
oof. Mrs. Vergari was standing right next to me all day yesterday while I was watching the game. Like the fact that
really?
she did not catch me once because I just kept flipping back screens. Yeah, she was on to me too.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, let's not talk school. Now the school's gonna see this, Ben, and they're gonna take away your electronics. They're gonna take away your privileges.
Yeah, they just banned live streams on my school Chromebook. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, they just
that's why I don't use my school computer anymore because I just get my All right, let's move on let's go to the Phillies. I'm giving the Phillies a D. D's nuts because the Phillies did absolutely nothing except they brought back guys.
Alphabet.
What? Yeah. The Phillies brought back a few guys, which is nice, but that doesn't mean your team's better. So they brought back Didi, they brought back Real Muto. Good moves there, but they didn't sign like a single starting pitcher. And then they had 2 bullpen acquisitions, but they had the worst bullpen I've ever seen last year. So 2 guys, does that really help? They're still not. They didn't sign a center fielder either, even though there weren't that many options. But still, anyone's better than freaking Roman Quinn and Adam Hazley. And Ben, don't tell me how fast Roman Quinn is and how good he is because he's
96th percentile, baby.
Here we go. Yeah, so I loved saying it. I wanted to give them an F, but I really like the Jose Alvarado trade. I like the Archie Bradley pickup. But yeah, they really did nothing, especially after hiring Dombrowski. You thought they were going to kind of be aggressive, but nope. Phillies did nothing, and I love it. So D for Phillies.
Yeah, I'd probably give them a D plus. I think having a terrible bullpen, having a 7.7 something bullpen ERA this past season, and the fact that they only went out to get 2 adequate veteran bullpen pitchers and Brandon Kinsler and Tony Watson, I think was his name. So the fact that you just do that's just a big head shaker in my opinion. I mean, they re-signed Didi, they re-signed JT Realmuto, which I actually doubted that they were going to sign Realmuto.
Well, they said they weren't going to. Because the owner.
Their whole
it was crying poor
money crap, and then Harper. Yeah. So I really, honestly, like 3 months ago, I would have said F. I guess I gave them a D because they re-signed, Realmuto and Didi, and then they did something to their bullpen. I still think they're going to be a cruddy team. I don't really see them doing anything else. I mean, they're still, just below
4th place Phillies, baby.
500, of course. Team. So I don't really see them doing anything. I think they'll probably just always hover around 500 this upcoming season. They didn't really do anything this offseason. They kind of had a sad offseason, especially, having a huge offseason last year, signing Harper, and I mean, you lost Arrieta, which I guess that was
that just makes your team better.
Yeah, they got an A now.
But yeah, so I give them a solid D.
Ben, how about you, man?
I'm going with a C. I think the fact that they were able to get
biased Mets fans alert.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm like, y'all are going so low on everything, and I'm going so high on everything. I'm a positive man, all right?
Okay.
Getting back Realmuto and Gregorius, I did not think they were going to do. I was surprised that they got either, to be completely honest. So I think that's really what the driving force behind it. They also got Archie Bradley and Jose Alvarado. Now, they also got Brad Miller, who has been super under the radar. Yeah, it was a great pickup in my mind for second base. And JT Realmuto is injured, right? At the moment.
Jeff Mathis.
You know who they're back? Yep, there he is.
Jeff Mathis.
It's 2021, baby.
World Series champion, Philadelphia Phillies. You heard it here first. Moving on. So up next, we got the Washington Nationals. I'm giving them a C. Phillies suck. Fuck yeah, they do. Christian Bregman. Yeah, I'm giving the Nationals a C. They didn't really do a lot, but they made a couple good pickups. I like the Kyle Schwarber signing. Get another good bat in there because their offense was really bad last year. You also got John Lester, who's now injured, unfortunately. Decent arm there. Bullpen. They got Brad Hand, which is a nice pickup, although his decrease in velocity is starting to be a little scary. But he's still a good pitcher. I'm not gonna act like I didn't want the Mets to get him. I obviously did. But yeah, they just had an average offseason. Not much to say there. Ben?
I'm going to go with actually a B here because they got a lot of power now. They got a lot more power than they did coming into last season with Kyle Schwarber and Josh Bell. They improved the bullpen. I think they weren't really looking to do too much this offseason. I wasn't sure if they were going to try to compete again. But it looks like they do have a roster that could potentially compete for a second wild card spot. Probably not, but there's potential.
NL's good this year. Yeah.
The NL is.
I forgot they got Josh Bell too. Probably because Josh Bell isn't very good.
He isn't, but I mean, who knows?
Big Josh Bell guys on this
2019
channel.
first half.
Yep.
Who knows?
Ben, how about
I
you,
think
man?
it was B.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what did I gave them a B minus. I mean, you got Josh Bell and Kyle Schwarber. I think in that Washington Nationals lineup, they could drive in some runs, produce some runs. So I guess that's a pro. You got your young guys in Carter Kieboom and Luis Garcia. We'll see how they come up and help out that infield. Otherwise, they had I don't want to say a pathetic offseason, but I think from their World Series hangover, I think I was expecting them to go out and do much more. I honestly thought because they got rid of Suzuki that maybe they would have went out and got Real Muto or someone more high upscale, but otherwise they didn't really have a successful offseason in my opinion. So yeah, and then I think starting pitching, I mean, you got John Lester, he's a fried veteran, and you're starting to look at that rotation.
He's hurt now though.
He struggled this year, so you think that they would have wanted to get some more younger guys to secure that rotation. You got Strasburg, who I think was injured this past season, so we'll see how he comes up. And I mean, otherwise,
he had a carpal tunnel.
Who there are other pitchers? I mean,
Scherzer, Corbin.
Patrick Corbin, I could see him having a bounce back, but
he's good. He's good.
Oh,
yeah, he's
yeah.
good. He's
he was
good.
insane in 2019.
2018 and 2019, it was amazing. His slider's still there. It's just his velocity kind of went down a bit.
But also they lost Sean.
All right, moving on. Oh yeah,
that's a pro.
Oh, they did, and their bullpen already wasn't
for
good.
us, but a pro for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a pro for us, they got Brad Hand because we got JD Davis. He rakes off of him. Hit the walk off against Cleveland back in the day. And then up next we got the Miami Marlins. I'm giving them a C plus, maybe a B borderline. I mean, it's the Marlins. You don't expect them to do too much. They got Adam Duvall, which is a nice pickup. They got who else did they get? Now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of
Gio
it, right?
Gonzalez.
He signed with the Marlins.
Yeah, just a bunch of minor league contracts. Yep.
Yeah, they lost Brandon Kinsler, which is rough, just because he was good for them last year. So C plus, but it's also the Miami Marlins. They got a good farm system. They're not going to rely on making off-season moves. So yeah, C plus, maybe a C around that. I really like the Adam Duvall pickup.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said. Adam Duvall, C plus. I mean, there's really nothing to say.
Yeah. And Hayden, how about you?
I'd probably agree with you guys around that B plus, B minus range. I mean, you got Adam Duvall. He's a slugger. I think he could help out in Marlins Park with the bat. I mean, they got a new GM, so I don't know. I think they're still a team that's still developing with the NL East, and you see the teams above them. I don't think they quite stand a chance. I think this past season was a fluke, and maybe they didn't think it would be a fluke, so they didn't go out this offseason, and Jeter was too busy constructing $1 million monuments out in center field rather than go out and get some players. But I mean, otherwise,
he's removing them. He removed it. He didn't build it. He removed it. Yeah.
Otherwise,
all right. So,
yes, like you said, they got their prospects, and hopefully we'll see how they get called up in a couple years, if it'll be worth it or not.
Yep. All right. So up next we have the Atlanta Braves. I'm giving them a B plus. They had a really good offseason in my mind. They really don't have to do much to the to the lineup. Their lineup was already great. So they got Charlie Morton, who's a really good starting pitcher. You get him with, Soroka, Fried, and Anderson. Also Drew Smyly, a bit of an overpay, but it's a good pickup there. Then that way you can have guys like Sean Newcomb and Kyle Wright be more kind of depth guys and let them develop a bit. And, Tuki Toussaint, they have a really deep starting rotation now with a lot of young arms I really like. Tyler Flowers is on their team, so I'm thought about giving them an F because he's a top 10 catcher apparently, even though no one wants him. and he's the best player in baseball history. But
For sure.
obviously, the Braves want him back so bad. But whatever, that's just a rant. But I like the Jake Lamb pickup too. That's good competition over at third base between Camargo, Riley, and Lamb. I think Riley's probably going to win the job, but I mean, you got a good kind of platoon there. Dansby Swanson had a great year last year. Ozzy and Freddie are obviously beasts. You got Pache coming up. Adam Duvall move was a little sketchy. I thought maybe keep him, but also without a DH, it makes sense because Ozuna is going to be playing out there, which he's as bad as he is defensively. You don't care how good his bat is. So yeah, and they brought back Ozuna for 4 years. That was a tremendous move by them last year. Bet on him. They clearly saw something and they brought him back. So yeah.
I'd probably give the Atlanta Braves an A-. They signed Charlie Morton. We saw him this past postseason. He was incredible. We'll see how he does during a regular season. He has plenty of postseason experience. Maybe he could help and transmit that to some of the younger Braves players coming October in that late September run. They got Mr. Smiley for that rotation. Also signed Ozuna a 4-year deal, so he can go and hit some more bombs as the DH because he cannot play outfield. So, I mean, I don't know.
Especially robbing home runs in St. Louis.
So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean,
they're going to play him in the outfield.
The field or...
Because they got Pache, who's going to be a Gold Glover, and they'll just ask him to play. You'll play center and you'll play left center. Help your boy Marcel out. He's like, it's like every time a ball gets hit near Marcel Ozuna, Braves fans, Christian Pache. I got it. So
yep.
Like you watch when Ozuna grabbed onto the chain like that, and you hear the big. I'm like, ooh, that made me shiver. I'm like, oh shoot, that really looked like it hurt. But I mean, otherwise, I'd say the Braves had a solid A- all season. For being 1 game away from the World Series, 3-1. I think.
Take that, Braves fans.
I think, for being 1 game away from the World Series, I think, obtaining some more pitching depth, I think that'll help them out coming October. And, it was a diverse combat between the Mets and the Braves this offseason. And I think both teams had to go at it. So I give them a solid A-.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to the NL West now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. I'm giving the LA Dodgers an A. Not quite an A+, but an A. My issue with them, obviously they signed Trevor Bauer, and they don't really need to do much because that team's almost perfect. But I would have liked them to they trade a lot of their bullpen guys. I would have liked them to see them add to the bullpen. Their bullpen isn't anything elite. Kenley Jansen isn't really the same anymore. And the bullpen's kind of let them down in the playoffs outside of last year when they obviously won the World Series. Sorry if I'm talking kind of funny, by the way, guys, because wisdom teeth. But
no, you actually sound perfectly normal.
Oh, sweet, because I said a couple words that came out kind of funky, but it's all good. Trevor Bauer, obviously a bit of an overpay. You hope he's really good and he has a huge ego and decides to opt out because, man, if he's bad on that contract, that's going to be a nightmare. But you brought back Justin Turner, a bit of an overpay, but I mean you want to keep him. So I'm not against that. They're the Dodgers. They're going to spend money. Great move. So yeah, Dodgers get an A. Not quite an A+, just because the bullpen I thought could use a little bit of work. They get an A. And by the way, boys, I'm gonna go take a leak. I'll be able to hear you though in here. I'll be back in 1 second.
All right.
Have fun.
All right. So yeah, great minds think alike, Elias, because we've basically had the same exact grades for the last 3 or 4 teams. I'm also going with an A for the Dodgers, not quite an A+. They signed Blake Trinan again, and they signed Tommy Kahnle to a 2-year deal. I'm still recovering because Tommy was the most fun Yankee all time, and to see him go is quite a tragedy. But other than that, it was just 4 big names, quality over quantity, and a lot of overpayments. So I'm giving the Dodgers an A, and I feel comfortable with it.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd probably give them an A too. I mean, the Dodgers don't really have to do much in an offseason. They can go and get a pack of gum. And I think that'll even amp them up more. I mean, just you look at their rotation: Kershaw, Buehler, Bauer, Urias, May, and Goslin are one of those 6-end starters. Just
David Price and
David Price. Yeah, David Price. He still got
David
it.
Price too. I've seen it. So I think
Exactly.
Dodgers don't really have to do anything. I think just the fact that they went out, they got Bauer, they re-signed Justin Turner. They got Trinan. I think that's really all they got. Tommy Kahnle from the Yankees, I believe they got him. So I think otherwise, they had a pretty successful offseason, especially coming off.
One thing I just thought of, David Price coming up, he was a reliever in his first couple seasons. And seeing as I don't think he fits into the LA rotation and they are losing a lot of bullpen spots, Kahnle can't pitch this year. I think they might resort to David Price as a late reliever because he was dominant out the pen for the Rays. Into the postseason as well, he is a great postseason pitcher out the pen, not necessarily against the Yankees, but against every other team. I think he could be more of a piece than people are thinking about this season. Little hot take, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, with the Dodgers too, like they lost some key guys, but their team is so good it doesn't even matter. Like you lost Jock Peterson, you lost Kike Hernandez, big deal because you got upgrades already on the team. So yeah. Here's my 1A+. I'm giving it to the San Diego Padres. I got 1A+ here. I didn't have a 1A+ rule or nothing, but I mean, you got Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove was a really high potential pitcher. If you have them in a rotation that already has Dinelson Lamet, Chris Paddock, potentially Mackenzie Gore, next year Mike Clevinger. So yeah, they did that, and their lineup's okay. Eric Hosmer was great. They got Ha-Sung Kim. They decided to spend money on the international pool too. Tommy Pham is casually a bench bat for them. If not him or Will Myers as a bench bat.
That's
Trent Grisham,
crazy.
He won a Gold Glove last year, if I'm not mistaken. Great player there. It's funny that you always remember him for an error, and then he went out and won a Gold Glove. That's great to see.
Yep.
Tatis, as I don't love the extension, but I don't really include that in of that offseason. Machado's still an elite player. Jake Cronenworth he got. I mean, this team's already good. I mean, I would have liked them to see them retain some of their bullpen arms, like either Kirby Yates or Trevor Rosenthal. But who cares? You still got like Emilio Pagan and Drew Pomeranz. So yeah, they're getting. I mean, next year the rotation literally can be Dinelson Lamet, not in any particular order. Dinelson Lamet, Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Mike Clevinger, Mackenzie Gore.
What about Musgrove?
Wow. Or Musgrove.
Exactly. What about this guy? What about this guy? They don't fit. Exactly. That's how good it is. I think Musgrove is going to ball out this year. They're going to trade him, get a shit ton of prospects back. I think that was the plan for him, like the short-term Clevinger replacement.
We're forgetting about Ha-Sung Kim. I mean, he's a shortstop, but no way taking Tatis. So, I mean, if you throw him at second, what do you do with Jake Cronenworth? And he's already a top.
He's left. Already. He can play left, yeah.
Okay, yes, you throw him outfield then. But, I mean, the Padres, I'd agree. They're probably the no doubt team that had the best offseason. You got Snell, Darvish, Musgrove, and Ha-Sung Kim. That's easily an A+. The fact that you look at this team and how different they looked 2-3 years ago, it's just mind-boggling. The spark came, Machado, and then it kind of, calling up Tatis.
That's what happens when you trade James Shields.
Everyone.
You get Fernando Tatis back.
But although, I mean, the White Sox, actually, I'll wait till we get to the White Sox, but.
Yeah.
I'm also giving them an A+. I mean, how could you not? Little more under the radar signings to replace the lost bullpen arms in Yates and Rosenthal. They did sign Keon Ikela and Mark Melancon. Obviously, those aren't your A+ relievers or anything, but they are serviceable players that will.
Dude, with the rotation that good, you need a bullpen. You're gonna get complete games like every other day.
I have a story for you guys when you guys get the chance. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Here, Ben, let Ben finish, and then you can go.
Yeah.
All right, so Ben, continue.
Oh, that's what I was just trying to get at. I also, Jurickson Profar was another good signing. I think he will be a bench bat for sure with the signing of Kim. But for a bench bat, that's another solid option because he's super versatile as well. So, A+, I mean, they stole Darvish. This was just the best offseason any team's had in years, and I thought they were going to have the greatest. They and the Dodgers are going to have the two greatest pitching staffs in like the 2020 era overall, no matter what, because they're insane.
That's what will be next though when Thor comes back.
Yeah, maybe.
Quite possibly. I mean, if
I don't know
Matt
about
Allen
that
turns into something,
4.4 ERA.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I have a funny story for you guys. So 2 years ago,
Yeah, what's up?
my school, we went on a field trip to Yankee Stadium, and they were playing the Padres. And what jersey did I wear? Manny
wore Padres?
Machado. And everyone,
Ooh.
and it was when it was 2019. I take that back. It was 2019.
Right.
And it was when they finished like 15, 20 games, whatever, under 500. And, they were pretty crappy. It was Chris Paddock, the sheriff, against
Everybody.
James Paxton. And
Ooh.
it was when they got 3 homers in the first inning, and it was a day game, and everyone was booing me for wearing the Padres jersey, and my whole school was like, "Oh, Hayden, you suck." And there were a fair amount of Padres fans there, and even the Bull Boy was looking against me, but it was pretty good. We ate in the Legends area, great food, and
Cool, man.
I just
We
want
were
to
going to go to
that
Yankee
time.
Stadium. I was going to go to a school field trip to Yankee Stadium, but I just remembered, but COVID shut down. It was going to be against the Mariners, ironically, because
Oh,
you
that
said
would've
James
been
Paxton. So I was going to have to get some Mariners stuff because my school band, we were going to take a trip down to New York, but COVID unfortunately canceled it like it canceled everything else. But
Dude, I should have
yeah,
gone in band.
great story, man. You should have. Yeah, you should have. You just come for the. You should have waited a year to buy a jersey because man, their new jerseys below those jerseys.
Yeah,
out of the
I'm
water,
gonna
brown ones.
I'll probably buy. I don't know. I don't know if I'll buy Tatis or Machado first.
I
I'd
would
go
get Tatis just to get both of the names.
Just because you already have Machado, yeah, to have both, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jersey Shopping with Hayden here.
Oh,
Big Apple Baseball Banter. But all right, let's move on. Let's go to the Colorado Rockies. They get a big fat F. They traded Nolan Arenado for a bag of peanuts and did nothing else. Ben, what do you think?
Oh my God, F plus. Well, I mean plus as in
F
a negative plus.
minus. Yeah.
F exclamation point. They didn't make
Worst
listen,
offseason.
They did not make a single major league signing this entire offseason. Not one major league contract.
They didn't either in 2019. They didn't
no
either.
way.
Yeah, they didn't.
And they paid the Cardinals $50 million.
To take on a
what?
top 5 third baseman's contract. Top 1 in my opinion, but we all got our opinions obviously. But I think everyone agrees he's a top 5 third baseman.
This is the worst offseason by any team ever. I've never seen a worse offseason.
Do you guys think the Dodgers or Padres rotation is better? I think the Dodgers have the better top end. I'm actually going to go Padres.
Really? I'll probably.
I mean,
Dodgers have a better starting. However, I think better bullpen may go to the Padres.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're talking starting rotation, but I mean, you got Dodgers. What? It's so tough, man. I mean, okay, maybe this year Dodgers. Next year with Clevenger.
Next year Padres.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that for sure.
Because Kershaw keeps declining ever so slowly. So yeah.
Yeah, the Colorado. I think. I'd probably give them an F minus. You literally traded away Nolan Arenado. There were talks about trading away Trevor Story. They literally traded away their franchise player. And
you hear the report?
They
don't have the budget to extend Trevor Story, so they're just gonna let him walk.
And then what's gonna
get nothing back?
As Ben,
they're gonna get a comp pick.
The Cardinals $50 million. Well, how are they going to rebuild? Because they're a small market team and they want to rebuild. $50 million for a small market team, that's a lot of money. So
that's a lot of money.
Yep.
Out that money. Shit. So the Rockies, they're probably going to be crappy and shitty for the next 3-4 years until they get some solid draft picks. They're definitely going to be the first draft pick.
Herman Marquez can't carry a team that can't hit out of Coors.
Yeah, or Charlie Blackmon
and Trevor Story and Herman Marquez are the only 3 above average players on that team.
And you think Brendan Rodgers might be able to, but he's disappointed like crazy so far in his career.
They got CJ Cron.
CJ Cron. Yeah, that's a minor league signing.
Oh, okay.
He's probably going to be their starter, though, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Murphy.
He's gone. Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, exactly.
We love Murphy, though.
We love him.
You know what? He was really good for this team in 2015 postseason. But let's move on. Let's go to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm giving them a D+. I actually like the Diamondbacks team, but I think they could use a little work, and they really did nothing. They got 2 bullpen arms. They got my man Asdrubal Cabrera. They got Joaquin Soria and Tyler Clippard. That's kind of it. They just didn't really do anything, so I'm giving them a D plus. And some of these teams that didn't really do much, we don't have much to say. We'll go a bit quicker on because we're not going to spend 10 minutes talking about the freaking Rockies train wreck offseason.
I give the Arizona Diamondbacks a D. I mean, you got Joaquin Soria, Dribble Cabrera. I mean, the Diamondbacks are not really a prime area to go to for a free agent destination, if you want to say. I mean, I think they helped strengthen some of their prospects in bullpen this offseason. And I mean, it's Dribble Cabrera. He's still old. He still has some pop in him. I think he could provide some flexibility in the infield. But otherwise, and even to help Ketel Marte out a little bit. But otherwise, I think the D-backs had a expected offseason when everyone was going in. I just think they can't really compete now, being in a tough division with two teams that are going to trample them. I think they'll definitely probably be a third place team. Maybe I think they'll be.
Giants are better in my opinion.
I disagree 100%. I actually like the Diamondbacks. Well, they had a great offseason last year. Starling Marte, Cole. I mean, you still got David Peralta. You got Eduardo Escobar. They're all coming off bad years, but
I mean Cole Calhoun, and
he's injured now.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a free agent. Or is he a free agent next year? He's a free agent next year. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the San Francisco Giants. I gave them a B. Pretty good offseason for them. They got some good pieces who can actually, play well. They got Kevin Gausman. They brought him back. That was a nice pickup. He pitched well for them last year. Kurt Casale is a backup catcher. You got Alex Wood. You got I like the Tommy La Stella pickup. Good veteran, presence there. He can play the infield. Probably play third base for them. Play Donnie Barrels at second. Maybe you got Wilma on the bench. Probably Longoria is probably going to go on the bench as well. Brandon Belt's coming off a great year, so that's probably your first baseman. So I mean, they just had a decent offseason. You don't expect too much. Maybe a B is a little generous, but I like what they did. I feel like something is escaping me. Something else they did.
They got Fani.
Who?
Desclafani and Wood.
Oh,
yeah.
Wood and Desclafani.
I gave the Giants a B plus for the reasoning that they basically stole the entirety of the Dodgers bullpen. They got Wood. Yeah, they got Alex Wood, Jake McGee as well, and also Tommy La Stella, who made contact more than any other player last year and struck out the least amount of any player last year and walked at an immense rate. So he's like insane contact bat to ball skills there. Descalfani, as you said.
Offseason, Dodgers bullpen. We forgot to mention the Marlins picked up what's his name from the Dodgers. It's not Dylan Floro, or is it
Oh yeah, Dylan Floro.
Talking about.
And then Kolarek went to the A's. We'll get to him in a sec.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but the Giants, I'd probably give a C. I mean, they signed a lot of minor league deals to my knowledge. They got the lefties in Desclafani and Wood for pitching staff, but I mean, otherwise they didn't do much. Like I said, the NL West is so hard to compete with the Dodgers now, and just now the Padres. So very sympathetic for those 3N tailgate teams. They'll be fighting it out for third place and move up, I guess.
Although Rockies won't be. Rockies are locked in last, in my opinion.
Yep. Forever.
They might be the worst team in baseball this year, if we're being honest.
I think it'll be between them and the Pirates. I mean, the thing about
the Rangers,
they're going to be worse longer because
at
least
Rangers.
They have really no one, but at least their prospects like Brian Hayes and almost ready with a
Brad Keller.
Who are their prospects?
No, it's Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller, not Brad Keller.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, Brad Keller.
Mitch Keller. You got who else you got?
Don't they have an outfielder?
You got the guys they got from Josh Bell and the Joe Musgrove trade. So they got pieces down there.
The Rockies, they have no prospects. Though.
They got nothing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
they got the guys from the Arenado trade. I'm just kidding. All right, boys, division. What division should we do next?
I'm feeling AL Central.
Oh,
AL Central. All right.
Hey.
Kansas City Royals. I gave them a B. I like the Benintendi pickup. I like Mike Minor. That was a nice signing. They also got Carlos Santana on base god, not the guitar player. I stole that from John Boy. They're like they got Carlos Santana, not the guitar player, the on base god. They also got extended Hunter Dozier. He's a pretty decent player too. They got I said Mike Minor. Didn't they add a decent bullpen arm? I don't remember. But I like the Benintendi trade a lot. A really kind of not really a high risk, but definitely a potentially high reward. So good pickup there. And it's the Royals. They actually decided to go out and try to compete this year, which I really like to see. So I'm giving the Royals a B. Ben, how about you, man?
I'm also giving them a B. I don't necessarily think they should have gone with the traded away Khalil Lee. I'm not really sure how that's going to pan out. I feel like the Mets won that trade, but I don't think Benintendi's. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about the Mets tonight. Something about it.
Oh yeah, you're a bigger Mets fan than we are tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Yankees, baby.
DJ LeMahieu was snubbed of the MVP last year. DJ LeMahieu is quite possibly the greatest player in baseball history.
Music to my ears. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Wow. Oh, this is probably music to your ears as well.
32, Brasso sends one into left field. Gardner going back, and it is
Yep. And it's up and gone. Yep. Mike Brasso. Yep.
Up
That's
and
the
gone.
It's gone!
Soundbites galore, baby.
Royals. I'd probably give them a B+. I mean, they got Greg Holland back, who had a pretty solid 2020 season.
Yes.
Benny Biceps, Andrew Benintendi. I'm still questionable with him just because how he performed in 2020, but I say enough 2020 shouldn't even count. So we'll see how he could provide some outfield depth. And then, I mean, you got Carlos Santana. He's pretty solid. So I think, like I say, for all
Michael A. Taylor, too. Forgot about him.
Yeah, that's true. But I think for all the
who's their left fielder now? Because Gordo retired.
He was center.
Oh, Benintendi, duh. Yeah.
No, but I think, being in a tough division that's competing, I don't think they'll be as bad as they usually are, but they won't be any playoff contenders. They'll be, games below 500, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they got a bright future, honestly. Brady Singer, Chris Bubich, Asa Lacy.
I don't want them to.
Did you see Lacy's at the spring training this year? I'm so excited to watch.
I see John Boy. They said, imagine if Chris Bubich pitched for the Yankees when he did bad. He'd be like, "Boo, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, Bubich." Yeah.
Yep.
Go to who's up on next my list? Indians. I'm giving them a D. The Eddie Rosario signing is saving them from an F, but they traded Francisco Lindor. They did get a nice return. They got a pretty decent return. I'll say that. But they traded Francisco Lindor, so who cares? Carlos Carrasco, they also got rid of. I mean, does it hurt them? Their starting pitching is always amazing anyways, but obviously it does hurt them because he's a great pitcher. And they didn't do anything else. I thought if you're going to trade guys, trade everyone. I thought, trade Ramirez, trade, Karinchak maybe. I think he's amazing.
No, you don't need to trade Karinchak yet. He's still got
too young
5 years left to control.
But I mean, I like the Rosario pickup, but other than that, it seems like they lack a bit of direction. So I'm giving them a D. Just you got rid of Francisco Lindor. It's hard to recover from that. So B. I mean,
I think
D.
I think they lost the Lindor trade pretty heavily because of the cookie inclusion. That I'm giving them a C-. I'm really siding with you guys. What is going on? Eddie Rosario was a steal, in my opinion, and they re-signed Cesar Hernandez, which I liked because he's a nice switch hitter because you already lost your switch hitter. So I'm going C-.
Santana and Lindor both switch hitters.
Oh my God, they had an all-switch hitting infield last year. I forgot about that.
Oh my God, they did.
That's crazy.
J-Ram's switch hitter.
J-Ram.
Oh, that's dope.
That's cool.
And then you get to their outfield and you can't name anyone out there.
Delino DeShields, switch hitter.
He's gone.
No, he isn't. He's a right-handed hitter too now.
Oh, he's back with Texas.
Yep.
Oh, he's not going to switch. He's like G-Man Choi. He's like, yeah, I'm done with the whole switch thing.
Yeah.
I'd probably
All right.
rate the
Hayden, how about you, man?
a C. I mean, yeah, you traded away Lindor and Carrasco, but you got some hopeful prospects. Josh Wolf, he looks like he has a potential future arm, and outfielder Isaiah Green. You got Rosario, who's one of those players that you really have mixed emotions on. But I mean, Jimenez, I was pretty upset that we lost Jimenez. I mean, he was really young. He kind of reminded me of like an Ordonez kind of, I don't know, just like not really that great with the hitter, but very like acrobatic and flexible at shortstop or third. I mean, I was kind of hoping they would have kept Jimenez and maybe put someone else in, and you could have had like Jimenez and Lindor. That would have been kind of cool. But I don't really.
Though, don't forget, with my thing with Jimenez is like he's good enough to like be valuable, but he's also not good enough to be a bench bat. Like he's bad enough to be a bench guy. I mean, you can keep him on your bench and still have value there.
I mean, the thing is, he's really young. I think like if you give him time to bulk up more, go to the gym. I mean, listen, I don't think he'll be hitting 40 home runs, but he could be an average, base hit guy, double guy, and he's very fast. So, if he gets on base, he could steal. He could easily have 30 stolen bases a season if he, I know he was speaking with Billy Hamilton when we were with the Mets about stealing bases and stuff. So I don't think the Indians had a terrible offseason or whatever the hell you want to call them. But I also signed Cesar Hernandez, so that wasn't that bad. I mean, otherwise, I want to say that they definitely can still be potential playoff contenders, but they're going to be more one of the underrated playoff teams, if you ask me. So I'd rate the Cleveland Indians a solid C for Cleveland.
Oh, nice, yeah. You never know.
And then there's another
Andres,
Cleveland, like on their hat, yeah.
Yeah, Andres Jimenez might develop into the next Omar Vizquel if you guys are talking about hyping him up that way. I think he could definitely develop into that. Shut the fuck up. Turn that off now.
I was like, what the hell's that from? Oh, Hayden's at it with the sound bite.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
No, don't rip off my jersey. No.
No. My wife, she I'm really shy. I'm really shy. My wife wouldn't be happy. She's really shy. And he got Correa. He got this really bad tattoo, man. But we're probably gonna get fucking flagged for being accents.
Yeah, you're gonna be flagged for racism.
we already did the Marcus Stroman. Yeah, man, I'm just the best pitcher of all time.
Oh, I didn't think that was racist. What?
No, I mean. I didn't say about racist. I'm like, we're doing all the impressions tonight. I said we already did the Marcus Stroman impression. So all right, let's move on to the Minnesota Twins. They have your kind of typical Twins offseason where they pick up a couple veteran arms and then don't do a ton of. I gave him a C, maybe a C plus, because I actually really like the Anderson Simmons pickup. It really helps them out defensively. Get Donaldson, got Arias. You can move him out to the outfield. He can either replace Rosario or you can get that with Kirilloff. He can play there. You hope that their catching situation, kind of fixes himself with Garver. You obviously got Astudillo, though. He's the best catcher of all time. So,
facts.
There. But I like the Anderson Simmons pickup. J.A. Happ, Ben's favorite player of all time. They signed him. I really like the Alex Colomé signing. That was a good pickup by them. So, yeah, C plus for them. Ben?
I'm going with the B. I think Alex Colomé is going to be their replacement for what's his name, Tyler Clippard, maybe even better.
They also got Hansel Robles, so you know what that means.
Yeah.
Mets fans know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about too.
Bat hits the ball, it's gone. Finger up in the sky.
That's right. He's obviously just. This is how he compliments the hitters for squaring up the ball, hitters when they cross home plate will do the similar thing. He's basically doing it for them to save them some time.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Hansel Robles, man.
Matt Schumacher was dominating with the Blue Jays before he got injured, and now he's on the Twins. So who knows? Maybe that turns into a great signing. And other than that,
I mean, maybe he'll
J.A. Happ
do something.
Ben, right? Ben doesn't like J Happ very much. Hayden forgot to mention that. Like it's kind of his trigger word. He kind of goes crazy. Kind of like he doesn't like Mike Brasso either.
Or audience.
Ben's gone. Ben left.
Look at just the Mets fans now.
Yeah. Let's go Mets party, baby. Man, what happened to our show? We used to just do a nice, formal podcast, and now we just freaking just blast sound bits and roast each other. It's great though.
I just turned down the volume on the side of my phone and it kicked me out. I don't like this app. Is so annoying.
Oh, my bad, man.
No, that's not your fault. It's all good.
Yeah, screw you, StreamYard. Whenever I end this, it ask me how did it go tonight? So I'll leave a shitty review.
Oh yeah, get the devs out here.
Yeah, but getting back to yeah.
Basing off on the Twins, I'd probably give them a B-. You got Colomé, you re-signed Nelson Cruz, you got Simmons. I think for trying to upstart against the White Sox, who are, moving past them. I think otherwise they didn't really have any threats besides the White Sox personally. So I think they had a somewhat adequate offseason. I mean, you got Colomé, who's great for the bullpen, low ERA, low whip. Who else did they get? Like I said, J.A. Happ. I just think it's really postseason that's I think it'll be a typical.
Twins. They're not winning the game this year. Yep.
They'll win the division. They'll choke in the playoffs as usual. So nothing new with the Twins the last couple years. I give them a B-.
Yep. All right. So coming up next, we have the where am I? Chicago White Sox. I'm giving them an A. Not quite an A+ because I wish they would have done a little more to the bullpen. But I mean, they get Lance Lynn. That's tremendous. They also get. Now I'm blanking on everything they did.
Liam Hendricks.
Yeah, Liam Hendricks. Oh my God, that was amazing. I mean, I wish they would have done a little more in right field, but maybe the platoon Adam Eaton and Adam Engel out there, the two Adams. You can see how that goes. That's kind of really the only hole in their roster. Madrigal's hoping to get a full season over at second base. Abreu's coming off an MVP. They lost James McCann, but you got Grandal. Who cares? Who's their backup catcher now? I don't know, but. And then you can also call
Zach Collins.
Zach Collins. I don't even know who that is. But now you can call.
He's like 4A player. He's one of their top prospects. Probably gonna become major league ready this year.
Nice. I mean, now you can you can call up Andrew Vaughn and have him play. As DH your first baseman, so you don't really need to bring back McCann and platoon the two catchers at catcher and DH like they did last year. But, I'm giving them an A. Tremendous offseason. Liam Hendricks, maybe the best reliever in baseball. And Lance Lynn was a really nice pickup as well.
All right. I'm going with an A-. And you've talked about all the points I wanted to get at, except for they actually got the number 1 international free agent signing this year. And
Cespedes.
Yolki Cespedes. There we go. I knew how to pronounce that.
Yoelki, right?
Yoelki.
Dude, watch him. He's literally identical to Yoenis.
All right.
They couldn't be more similar.
His name's also harder to pronounce, yet starting with the same 4 letters, and it annoys me so much. Because it looks like Yolkai.
Yokai.
Yeah.
Yoelki Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Anything else?
Not really. You touched on the good points. Dane Dunning for Lance Lynn. I mean, it's a good trade.
Sorry, just charging my phone. So.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Yes, I mean the White Sox. I'd probably give them an A. Just solid A. I think the fact that they signed Lance Lynn to, I guess, strengthen the rotation behind pitchers like Giolito and those other guys, I think will help out. I think just even acquiring Liam Hendricks, I honestly think those two moves itself are a huge factor for the White Sox potentially going after the division in the Central, kind of where it's up for grabs. I just think maybe the White Sox need I know they got a lot of bats, but maybe a nice left-handed power bat, just one more. And now that they have some flexibility in the farm system, otherwise they had a great offseason. And I know we were talking about Shields before him going up to Tatis, but look at them now. They still have solid guys. You still have Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada. You have these young guys. It's just my only concern with them going ahead is Mr. Manager Skip. How is he going to go with group of diverse people who are younger than him, who speak different languages. They're just.
I think it's the most minority players in the team, at least on the offensive side. I think Madrigal and Adam Engel are the only, white guys on the.
Yeah, they'll probably shift off in outfield though, but that's my only concern is how Skipper is gonna react with all the players.
I really hope that like in a day game in the middle of April, like on a weekday, on a Tuesday or Wednesday, Skip decides to go out and have a drink before the game and drinks one too many and comes into the clubhouse, comes into a press conference like trying to like impersonate each and every one of his players that are asked about, and then just looks like an absolute buffoon. I think it's gonna happen, and I can't wait for it to happen.
But I can't see him being manager for much long. The age gap,
No
I don't
way.
think we'll get along with the players. The players I don't think are gonna like him either because these are young players. They want to do bat flips. They want to scream. They want to.
They don't
embrace
want to
the
bunt.
new version where
They don't want to bunt. They don't want to hit and run. Yep.
right where
They want to swing 3-0 with a big lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to advertise the game, pretty much to say.
Exactly. Let's move on to the Detroit Tigers. I'm giving them a C because they're a rebuilding team, and they brought back Jonathan Scope, which was nice. They brought in, I think, Rick Porcello. They brought the Buffalo Ramos. So, they're going to win the World Series this year. They're going to have the fastest base running team in the league. But I mean, they got Spencer Torkelson in the draft. I know it's technically not the offseason, but that's amazing. Your young guys are developing. That's all you could ask for. So yeah, Tigers get a C. Nothing really to talk about.
I agree with you. I gave the Tigers a solid C. I think the organization is really just waiting on, its young guys, Schoolboy, Mize, and Manning. However, I mean, they signed who was it from the Marlins?
Oh, Urania?
Jose Urena, yeah, they signed him.
Yeah.
And then, you got Ramos, you got Austin Romine. To replace Austin Romine, and then you got Robbie Grossman.
Cubs, Robbie Grossman, good pickup there. Yeah,
I think I signed him like a year or two.
Funny thing you mentioned Urania because he had Mr. Bat Flips Acuna in his division. Now he's got Tim Anderson, Mr. Bat Flips in his.
Oh no!
You better watch out. He's like, yo.
I was about to
Urania comes.
I was about to talk about how I was so excited for Acuna not having to worry about being thrown at every other at bat. Now Tim Anderson's going to be thrown at every other at bat. This is not good.
No. Too negative. But Ben, what are your thoughts on the Tigers offseason?
I'm going to go with a B. I mean, they just signed a bunch of veteran players. Nomar Mazara. I'm not sure if we brought him up yet. Just a bunch of like average, slightly above, slightly below average hitters and pitchers. Who knows? I mean, they're not really looking to win this year.
Nice.
They're just
AJ Hinch, nice hiring there, even though he's a cheater.
He looks like he's literally 20. Like if you Google his profile picture with the Tigers, this G looks like 20 years old.
He feels very strong about this.
Cameras off, so we were like, it was just silent. He looks like he's,
boy. I'm just saying, charging my phone though, but I just have to say, Google him, pull him up. He literally.
We're definitely clipping this shit, man.
Screw you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, we're starting to do that now. Guys, go. Oh, Ben,
he just feels very strongly about his age, and we respect that.
Yeah, Ben, we never introduced the Instagram because we post clips of the show there, good clips on Big Apple Baseball Banter for the one person in here. You can go check that out. But let's move on to let's go NL Central now. So let's start with the
Reds,
the Cubs,
the
Cubs. Oh, because I have an order here. You know what? Let's start with the Reds. You're right. Reds get a big fat F for me. It just pissed me off. They went all in last year, and then it didn't work for 1 year. So instead of let's run it back, let's try again. Let's try to improve on ourselves. Let's trade everyone away and suck this year. That's basically what the Reds did. They traded Raisel Iglesias, lost Trevor Bauer. Did I think they were going to bring him back? No, but I mean, you could have made a freaking offer other than the qualifying offer. They did. Who the hell did they sign this offseason?
Sean Doolittle and D. Gordon, along with Tyler Naquin and Cam Bedrosian.
Gordon.
D Strange Gordon, baby.
Yep. So yeah, that doesn't get me excited whatsoever. Awful offseason from the Reds. F, not Rockies F, but like F.
Yeah. An
Hayden, how
FF,
about you?
not like an FFF.
Yeah.
I gave the Cincinnati Reds a solid D. The Reds didn't really do much this offseason. I mean, pretty much what you said. I mean, they had a lot of more verbal stories, orally, of course, trade-wise, who they're going to get, who they're going to get rid of.
Wait, what happened?
And I mean, they lost what?
I think
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened with the Reds? What did they?
They were more like orally involved. Like they really didn't.
Oh, I got you. So like the Luis Castillo to the Yankees.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a lot of
They had a lot of rumors. Okay.
verbal,
Yeah. A lot of rumors
yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had a lot more verbal there. I think that's a better word. Still, it's still a word. It's still a word. I was like, come on now. All my teachers say that for verbal. It's another word for verbal. Come on now.
Yeah, but
back
I think with the Mariners is just saying too much. I thought you meant like they're saying too much.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was thinking
but,
wait, is he talking about Trevor Bauer dissing on everybody or something?
No, but back to what I was saying though. Yeah, I don't really think the Reds did this much this offseason. They had a lot like verbal offseason trade rumors. They lost Trevor Bauer, which I think that's a big factor. And then they lost Iglesias and Bradley, two of their bullpen arms or closers, whatever you want to call them. And then, like I said, they lost some guy named Trevor Bauer. I don't know if you ever heard of him, and Desclafani. And I just think kind of like what you said, just hopping on, like they're guilty of the whole cost reductions. It's like odd because they were just in the playoffs, so you think they'd want to expand, but then they just went back and didn't do anything. And maybe they kind of realized that they were slightly overrated with their bats and didn't crazily have power hitters. But 2020 was a shitty
year,
shitty 60-game season. So I don't know. Maybe some of their bats like Shogo Akiyama and Votto and all of them could pop back up, but
yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Castellanos, he's been a good hitter in the past.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they got talent on the team. I mean, they just didn't do anything. Ben, did you go?
No, I did not. I'm giving them a big fat D.
Say that again.
What?
Say that again.
Oh yeah. So this offseason, I'm giving the Reds
an orally big fat D.
A humongous.
What about a
girthy
C?
D. No. Well, actually, yeah, I might change my mind to a large, elongated C.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay with
one viewer just left.
Oof, really?
It's fine. It's fine.
Bye, Alex Bregman. We won't miss you. I like the Sean Doolittle signing, but other than that, they did little
to nothing.
Wordplay.
Oh, he's back.
Yep.
He's back. Yay.
We're PG again.
Yeah, we're PG now. Yeah. So let's move on to the Chicago Cubs. They're also getting an F for me. You're probably thinking, oh, why did they get an F? They made some moves. Well, they have no direction. I mean, you trying to win? You trying to win, or you trying to? If you're trying to win, don't trade Darvish for a bunch of teenagers. Now, if you're trying to, now you don't trade Darvish. You sign those guys. Maybe you got like a B off season. You're trying to win, but if you're gonna trade Darvish, you gotta trade Bryant. You gotta trade Baez. Just go full tank mode, full rebuild. They already non-tendered. What's his name? Schwarber. Stupid move there. So yeah, they just don't have a direction. So I'm giving them an F. That's a little harsh, but I feel strongly about my opinion. How about you guys? Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving the Cubbies a solid D. I mean, I think losing Darvish and then replacing him with Jake Arrieta is just a head shake and a head scratch and any possible triggered exasperation emotion anyone can get. And especially they had a solid, nice pitching rotation, and now it's completely kaplunked. And now their pitching rotation is completely shaky and have plenty of questions ahead. Alec Mills, no.
My God.
I mean, listen, you got Jock Peterson. That was a nice little signing. He'll hit you some homers, be a nice bat in that lineup. But, pitching is not going to go in their favor. They have some bats. It's just how the Cubs played out is pretty sad, For from the World Series till now. We'll see how they go, but I honestly could see them finishing exactly at 500. They will not be contenders this year, and especially with the whole pressure of like pretty much their whole team, maybe besides like one or two guys being trade candidates. I think it's going to get to them and affect their performance. But I give them a solid D this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, if they're bad at the deadline, I mean,
yeah, they'll just trade.
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah,
like you might think like, oh well, they're on contract years, so they might, their players might play a bit better.
Well, MLB is screwing players with their contracts thanks to the managers, but
Yeah, I don't feel like a lot of those players. I don't think Bryant wants to be there. Javi Baez said he might want an extension, but he said like a deadline. Ben, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. There was just like an earthquake at my house.
Oh, really?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the entire like room just went.
Oh shit! My door's shaking. Woo! Damn, it came from Florida in a minute. I don't live on a fault.
Oh shit! It's another hurricane.
All right, Milwaukee Brewers. They get a big fat D for me.
Oh.
Okay. Again, they didn't really do anything. They got Colton Wong. That's kind of it. I mean, they're not a great team. I don't really have much to say. Ben, I know you're way higher on the Brewers than I am. So what are your thoughts?
I'm looking for my Brewers page right now. Oh, there it is. Let's go. I'm giving them a C. I'm giving them a nice C for the Wong they got. And Brett Anderson, I mean, I don't think Brett Anderson's going to do anything. I don't think Travis Shaw is going to do anything. But you never know. They got a nice second baseman now. And I can't say that I've ever felt comfortable with any Brewers starting position since Ryan Braun 2011. So this was definitely an improvement for me. And I mean, other than that, it was a very boring offseason for them. See?
Yep. Hayden?
I'd probably give the Brewers, I guess, a C plus. You got Colton Wong, which is nice. So maybe, that could help them out defensively. You could probably throw Colton Wong at second and then maybe move like Keston Hiria to first. So that'll be a nice right side of the infield. The only thing is really they don't really have much pitching. Their bullpen is it's mediocre, but the starting pitching is really, behind Woodruff, they don't really have any starters that could help them out. I think Yelich was going to have a bounce back. But I mean, otherwise they don't really have any pitching, and I'm really surprised they didn't re-sign Ryan Braun.
I think he's gonna retire. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it's
like if he wanted to play, they would sign him. Guys, baseball is my air says like the community Mets guys. Thanks, man.
Thank you for being a viewer. I see you always check out my videos.
Oh, baseball is my air. Thanks for tuning in. Baseball is my air. Oh, Ben showing that the Yankee. All right, yeah.
Because he called you a Mets fan.
No,
he said
he's talking
Mets
to us.
fans.
He said Mets guys. He said,
"Am I that annoying?"
Mets guys. Yankee fans, you see, Yankee fans don't have a community like us Mets fans. Name me a good Yankee YouTuber. What Yankees Avenue?
Oh no, I can't even watch him. His voice is annoying. Yeah, Dan. I feel like I'm gonna get murdered in my sleep if I say something bad about the Yankees near him. Like he's gonna just come out of my closet during one of these streams when I praise a Mets move.
About how Aaron Judge is better than everyone, and how
he does.
How he's not.
I mean, his argument. He does provide valid arguments for that, but I mean, I just don't agree with them.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Silly goose! What? You forgot about John Boy. We got John Boy. You don't got John Boy.
He's not a Yankee guy. I mean, you got talking.
Yeah,
Yankee,
he is.
But he's a Yankee fan, but he's not really a Yankee specific.
He's a baseball fan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Draftneck Mark's a Mets guy. I mean, he's a Mets fan, but he's not like he's probably like they're.
He's like a little biased though.
I like Draftneck Mark. He got me really into baseball though. I like Draftneck Mark. I think going on a little side tangent. Who are like the biggest MLB YouTubers, not including Trevor Bauer? Probably like John Boy, Draftneck Mark, and Fuzzy, and maybe Foolish Baseball.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably agree. I'd say probably the number one has to be Fuzzy, just because he's almost at 300K. I'd say Draftneck Mark is second. Third is really a toss-up because like Foolish Baseball talks about more like factual stuff rather than news.
Yeah, like opinions.
Yeah, and they talk about like interesting stories where Giraffe Neck, Mark, and Fuzzy go over like news and quizzes,
exactly, yeah,
etc. Where I think Foolish Baseball. I mean, he's great. I love him. I'm a good subscriber to him. But I don't know. He just has a different type of channel.
Wait,
He's definitely up there. But
how many subs does Fuzzy have?
I think he's
like
approaching 300K almost.
John Boy's at 872K.
Yeah, John Boy's. I mean, I know a lot of, I've heard like a lot of non-baseball fans who like I like John Boy. Yeah, Fuzzy's at because they love the breakdowns. The breakdowns are awesome.
Yeah, because he does everything. He does football. Sure. He does freaking like Danish foam throwing stuff.
Danish Dutch death diving. Yeah, I love fun sport. Right? John Boy's awesome. Also, like there's some smaller guys like Jolly Olive and Robbie Hyde, who I'm a big fan of.
Yeah,
there's obviously the Mets guy. My favorite YouTuber, Mets Talk with Hayden. Yeah, I talk with him.
That guy sounds pretty great.
Oh, I love Mets Talk with Hayden.
Called like Big Banter Baseball or something. They suck though. They're terrible.
Yeah, it's like so cringy.
But yeah, that was a fun little side tangent on baseball. Wait, what other Yankee? I mean, you got diehard Yankee fan, which he changed his channel name. I like him.
Wait, which one was that? There's like one that's like there's a highlight YouTuber I know that like I think it's like Bomber Bits or something.
Like actually like YouTube personalities who like actually.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of any Yankee YouTubers at all at this point.
And you also got the MLB The Show guys like Kevin God, whatever name you got.
Kevin. I love Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin and what's his name? Kyle.
Shelfie.
Cougs is horrible. I hate Cougs. He's just annoying as shit.
Speaking of Cougs, we'll get to his Angels in a bit here on this thing. But let's finish out these grades before you get to that. Cardinals, I was gonna give him an A because Arenado was such a good pickup, but I think I'm gonna give him a B plus just because I wish they did a little more with the rotation. They got Flaherty, who's great. Michaelis, what's the deal with him? Dakota Hudson's good. I don't think Kim, whatever his name is. I think his stuff is really mediocre. He just kind of gets lucky. I watch. Now it's not just bias because I watched him today and he pitched like shit. He has no like swing and miss worthy stuff and he pitched like 88. So I'm not high on him. I like the bullpen a lot too. I just wish they would have done something with starting pitching. But Arenado was such a tremendous move. So I'm giving them a B plus, borderline A. Ben, what about you?
I'm going with a B because other than Arenado, their only signings were Waino and Yachty. And while I'm very happy they signed Waino and Yachty, I just don't think they're impact players necessarily anymore. So I'm going with a B. Waino was good last year, so who knows? Maybe his stretch of old man dominance continues, but I personally don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, solid B for me.
Yeah, I give them a B plus. They re-signed Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright. They were in a trade with the Rockies and, pretty much gave up, what is it that Fuzzy says? Yellow starbursts. So I think the Red are pretty good coming ahead. So yeah, I'd give them a B plus, honestly. They had a pretty nice offseason. I mean, just honestly doing what they did without Arenado still helped them out. But I think Arenado just was the last dollar machine, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take of mine. I'm giving the Pittsburgh Pirates a B plus because they did what they should do. Tear it down. They're not, some of these other teams refuse to rebuild. And I mean, they're clearly having a direction. Their direction clearly is to rebuild. And they did that. They traded pretty much everyone with value. They're keeping around some of the guys who might potentially have value. They could try to build up their trade value a bit. And they're building a good farm system. So, I mean, could they have gotten, and what I like what they did too, is, they got quantity over quality in a way, but they didn't even have the greatest pitchers and like players to trade away. Like Musgrove, I thought, he was getting a little overvalued a bit, but you've got a handful of prospects for him, which I like, getting a good, you're really just replenishing the farm system. So I just like that the Pirates didn't get cocky. They realized we're not good. Let's rebuild. So they have a direction with a lot of these teams that want to rebuild, but don't want, like the Cubs, they don't have a direction. So that's why I'm giving the Pirates a B plus, maybe a B. But B plus, I don't know.
I'd probably give the Pirates a solid C plus. I mean, based off of Major League signings, they got Frazier, Tyler Anderson, and Brian Goodwin.
Chase and Shreve.
Whatever. Yeah, Chase and Shreve. I liked him as a Mets fan. No disrespect to them, but they're not really crazy any big signings. However, I mean, listen, I think the Pirates, like you said, they should do whatever every team that's struggling do is tear it down and you rebuild from scratch. However, I think that a lot of their prospects are getting ready to come up. Brian Hayes looked great this past 60-game
God, I'm in
season.
our fantasy league.
Yes, I'm excited to see him. I wish he could win Rookie of the Year next year, but he's not eligible because he already got votes this past year. But he's definitely a player.
I thought he's eligible.
He got more than 150.
He voted in 6 last year, so I don't think he can he?
Well, I mean, it just depends on if he's gotten 150 plate appearances yet.
I think he probably has.
Based on service time, if you
for hitters, it's 150 plate appearances, and for pitchers, it's a 50 innings. Once you cross the.
So this is a little side. So he had 85 at bat.
Oh, so he's still eligible.
Between a plate appearance and an at bat.
Plate appearances are anything that ends in like a walk, maybe a catcher's interference. Those are very rare though. An at bat is when the ball is either put in play, a strikeout is still an at bat. Basically, a plate appearance is basically you can also, if you go up to bat, but then your at bat is cut short because a guy on first gets caught stealing with 2 outs. Yeah, that's a plate appearance, but it's not an at bat.
Gotcha. Okay.
It mostly just means difference between walks and at bats, walks and non-walks.
Gotcha. I was always confused about that. Sorry, I need to. We got to do that episode where you teach me all these metrics. And my God, loud ass helicopter. I don't know if you guys can hear. But
I got my nerd glasses on. I'm ready, man.
Oh yeah. All right, that's the NL Central. What division do we have left? We have the AL. No, we have the AL West to do, and then that'll be it. So, AL West, Astros, they get a D. They didn't really do anything. They got Pedro Baez with a nice pickup, but other than that, they didn't do anything. So yeah, not much to say there. What do you guys think?
I give the Astros probably a B-. I mean, we got Jason Castro. I mean, they re-signed Michael Brantley. I think losing Springer will be a big thing, but I think they got some guys like Miles Straw who could probably replace that. And then they coming up.
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker's pretty good. He could be from in left field. Forrest Whitley, I think is his name. He looks like a solid pitcher.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but I like him. I think he has some nice stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the Astros, I'd give them a solid B- maybe. I think, just they got spared having this opportunity not to play with fans. I think it'll be crazy for them coming in.
Yeah.
Especially playing games at Yankee Stadium or, I think they played the Dodgers again this season. So playing them with fans in the stands will be,
fans better boo them.
Oh, I swear.
Fans don't. Yeah. I'd boo the shit out of them. I'm like, I don't care if this was 2 years ago. You guys haven't heard me yet. Altuve, hey Carlos, what rhymes with heater? Cheater. That's my favorite one.
It's so bad.
Yeah, solid B.
I actually gave the Astros a B+ because I loved the Brantley re-signing. Not only did they get Jason Castro, but they basically revamped the bullpen, which was their biggest need. They got Pedro Baez, Ryan Stanek, and Steve Cishek. He was a minor league deal, but I mean, he has a lot of major league experience. So I think it was a successful offseason. I think everybody knew they weren't going to sign George Springer.
Yeah, I should bump that a bit. I expected them to get Jackie Bradley Jr. though, which they could still use center fielder. Maybe they can still get him, but maybe I'll bump up to a C. All right, then we got the Oakland A's. I'm giving them a C+. They had a really bad offseason until towards the end. With them, they just started to start making moves. They got rid of Chris Davis. They got Elvis Andrews back, which he's not very good anymore. But I mean, it's kind of salary dump.
This costs so much though.
I know, but Chris Davis is too. So it's like, what's the biggest need? A power bat or a shortstop? They didn't have a shortstop. So
yeah,
I mean, you lost Tommy La Stella, which sucks. You should have tried to re-sign him. But I like the Trevor Rosenthal was really good signing. Mitch Moreland, he can be your DH now. That's really good. Who else they got? You got Yusmeiro Petit. You brought him back. So yeah, just an average. I would have liked them to try to bring back Robbie Grossman because he was really good for them last year. But I mean, it's typical Oakland A's. Not going to do much, but not bad. So yeah, C+. Ben?
I actually went with an A- for the A's because I think for my expectations for the A's were to, sign maybe 2, maybe 3 low end kind of basic A's signings, like a Yusmeiro Petit or a Sergio Romo. But they went above and beyond by signing Mitch Moreland and Trevor Rosenthal. And Yusmeiro Petit and Sergio Romo are nothing to scoff at either. They're both very serviceable arms.
Forgot about that. Yeah. Forgot about Sergio Romo.
Yeah, and Mike Fiers, but I mean, I'm kind of glad he's not going to any other team because he'd probably rat on the A's for something if he left. So I think they exceeded my expectations a lot. And for an A's team and franchise, that's an A for me. A-.
Nice.
I'd probably give the Oakland A's, I'd probably give them a B-. I mean, they pretty much gave up. Let me think how to word this. They pretty much, what they gave up, they got back, but in a lesser form. They lost Simeon, but then they
Liam Hendricks for, and I like that analogy.
So they got back what they needed, just not as superior as
they
what
downgraded.
Hoping
they downgraded.
Yes, there we go.
Downgraded, yeah. So they still have those positions. You got Moreland. I don't know if they throw him as a DH or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, they're still a solid team, and I think that with the cheap market, I think they had a good offseason for a cheap market. I mean, if they spent some money, I think now the AL West is up for grabs. So I think it'll be between them and maybe 1 or 2 other teams. But I think the A's had a successful offseason. I give them a B-.
Nice.
Yeah. Moving on to Seattle Mariners. Other than that press conference or whatever it was, I'm actually giving them a B. I like their offseason. I think they're setting themselves up for the future really well. I really like them bringing back James Paxton. Nice lefty arm. They got a nice young lefties in the rotation. He can teach them. They also got Ken Giles for 2 years. He's not going to pitch this year because of Tommy John, but you can get him after. And I mean, it's the Mariners. They're rebuilding, but they brought back Paxton, and I really like that move. They're setting themselves up for the future real well. Guys like Kelnick and Rodriguez are going to come up after April, of course, because service time. But I really like their offseason, man. I know it might be a bit high, but it's the Mariners. You don't expect them to do too much, but I like these moves.
I actually. You go ahead. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'd probably give the Mariners B. I mean, they upgraded some of their pitching. They got Ken Giles. They got Flexen and Middleton for the bullpen. So they're starting to lock down that bullpen. And,
Flexen,
they got
over. They're winning the division. Chris Flexen, baby.
And then, they got Big Apple.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait. Mets Mariners World Series 2021 confirmed?
That was
Sorry, Hayden.
But I mean, otherwise,
imagine seeing Kelnick and Dunn beating us in the World Series and Diaz blowing it. Oh my God. I would literally break my TV.
No, but I mean, otherwise, I think the Mariners had a successful offseason. I mean, besides that whole press conference issue and, but I think, I think they definitely, a lot of teams in the AL West, and we'll get to that one soon, didn't for the AL West being up for grabs, not many teams did much in the AL West. And you think a specific team that we're going to get to.
Let's get to it now.
But the Mariners, they get a solid B around that.
Los Angeles Angels, big, fat, juicy
D.
F.
F.
Oh.
No, they get an F. So bad.
Right.
What the fuck did they do? Everyone was linking them all these big ass free agents, but nope. They got Jose Quintana and Alex Cobb. You got Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon in their primes, and you're just wasting it. Anthony Rendon, I don't feel as bad for because he signed with them. I also try to sign with them. I still feel bad for them. They actually expect the team to do something. I mean, the division is basically up for grabs. Your team, you have a solid offense. Just get 3 starting pitchers. Just get maybe a Trevor Bauer. You overpay for him. Maybe that wasn't the right move. Get a Taijuan Walker, Jake Odorizzi, and a James Paxton. Those 3 guys with Dylan Bundy and Andrew Keeney. Nice rotation. You can sign a few bullpen arms. There's still good bullpen arms on the market. You still got Shane Green on the market. You still got I'm forgetting some guys. There's still relievers left on the market. So relievers aren't hard to acquire. So you can easily, and your offense is sick already. You already got you got Rendon, Iglesias, David Fletcher, Jared Walsh, Albert Pujols. Also fucking Dexter Fowler. You're trading for him.
Whoa.
I mean, stupid move too. So yeah, you don't want to spend any money on pitchers. So what do? You trade for past their prime veteran outfielders that you don't need.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off.
And plus, if you're gonna try to trade for Dexter Fowler, then why not try to re-sign Brian Goodwin, who's a much greater hitter against both sides? I think I would have liked that move a lot more, because then you can maybe ease Joe Adell in a bit more if he needs more time. I don't get the Dexter Fowler trade at all. Like, what do you think? He's going to bounce back at 35, 36? There's just no logic. No logic.
Yeah, you still got Justin Upton, another super old, past their prime, overpaid outfielder. I mean, pair the two up, I guess, but
yes,
with Trout.
But I think bringing in Dexter Fowler, he could sort of be like a bridge for Joe Adell. It's like,
that's what I meant by re-signing Brian Goodwin, except Brian Goodwin would have been a serviceable bridge, whereas Dexter Fowler is a fucking negative WAR kind of player. He's not good. I don't care that he's a switch hitter. He's not good. Oh, bye, Elias.
Oh. I'm Elias now. I have the Mets stuff. Okay, so what do I do?
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Hey,
plug the Instagram.
Oof.
Sorry, boy. The internet wasn't working.
Interpretation of you?
Oh, what did you get?
It was so good.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you'll have to rewatch it. Honestly, I'd give the Anaheim Angels a solid F. They literally didn't do Alex Cobb and Kurt Suzuki and
Jose Quintana. Yep.
That's Quintana from the Cubs. That's a no-no. You literally need pitching. They were in the talks for Bauer a bit, then they dialed back. I mean, they just need to get like one or two solid. They need to get like one big pitcher and and two more adequate pitchers, and they'll be great. The fact that you have guys like Mike Trout, who are probably one of the best players in baseball, and he has one postseason home run, one postseason appearance, that is despicable. And now you have guys like Rendon. You just need pitching. Go and get pitching. Like, you have run support, just get damn pitching. As a Mets fan, I could express it. Get pitching. I'll get a cutout and I'll
hate you guys.
Stadium.
One thing that I do want to mention is that last year the Angels' big acquisition ideal was Garrett Cole, and they were really in talks for him, and they didn't get him. So this is back-to-back off seasons in which they're pulling out that big F and just not getting the pitching that they so badly need. You can't emphasize it enough. They're running their own system into the ground. It's just hard to watch.
It's terrible, man. All right, let's move on to the Texas Rangers. I'm giving them a C. They didn't really do anything, but what do you expect? They're my pick for possibly the worst team in baseball this year. They're an awful team.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding. They got Lance Lynn, but they also got Dane Dunning back, so they get a C. Just average. You don't expect them to do anything. So, yeah, not much to say.
They signed David Dahl. And Brock Holt.
Nice. Yeah.
Foltynewicz isn't going to do shit because
Nate Lowe.
Oh yeah, Nate Lowe.
The Raider guns aren't working. Remember I told you about that? You blame the Raider guns for his lack of velocity.
Not just one faulty radar gun, but all of the radar guns.
Yup.
I'd probably give
so stupid.
I'd probably give the one strike to win a World Series team a C-. Hayden
out here roasting playoff chokers. Speaking of playoff chokers. Yeah, Hayden, get the Altuve clip going.
Yeah, but I mean,
let's go. He's gone again.
And he left.
I was an accident.
Yeah.
Left. No, that was an accident. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
I
what
mean,
happened there.
Rangers, they had a nice little offseason. Not really. I mean, I don't know. The Rangers do whatever they do these last couple seasons. You got Low Lau, however the heck you pronounce his last name, Fulte, David Dunning, and you got Ian Kennedy, nice veteran pitcher. Maybe you can go in and teach some of the younger guys like Dane Dunning something. Otherwise, it's sad because you guys got they have guys like Joey Gallo who are going to hit bombs, and I don't know. I think the Rangers have a couple years to do whatever. I mean, they don't really.
And Joey Gallo in the same lineup. Those dudes are going to be hitting tanks, dude.
Who?
Gallo and Chris Davis, Crush Davis.
Oh yeah, and Chris Davis led the league in home runs. He had 48 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they fell off
the
a
other
cliff.
Chris Davis.
He hit 247. He hit 247 for 3 years in a row.
4 straight years. Yeah.
4.
The other Chris Davis actually
Crazy.
hit 53 home runs in 2013. So he was pretty prime
then
too.
What happened to him ever since then?
Well, you might not know this, but he did go on this little streak, but he wasn't running through the stadium like a madman. He was running in and out of the batter's box faster than a fucking cheetah.
Faster than the freeze. Faster than the
freeze. Yeah.
That's fast.
Who would you guys say won the offseason and had the worst offseason?
Padres won.
Padres won the
Jays.
offseason. Rockies had the worst offseason.
Yep, exactly.
I'd agree.
I'm guessing you guys agree with that.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'd say
that's actually on my bucket list. If I could race the freeze, oh my god. The freeze is literally the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's so fun.
You see that kid, the kid who was getting the crowd fired up, and then he fell and lost. Yeah. Start Craving Sports, I think, was about the freeze. The freeze is the greatest thing on earth. It literally is. It's so good.
a lot of teams are starting to do that, to copy them.
Mm.
Oh yeah. D. Gordon back when he was with the Marlins, they're like who you taking, the Flash or the Freeze? He's like, duh, me. He's like, he lost last night.
I want to see Billy Hamilton or Alberto Mondesi race the Freeze.
Ooh, or Tim LoCastro.
Timmy Lowe. Oh, guess what? Tim LoCastro was born an hour away from us.
Oh really?
I forgot. Yeah, he went to Ithaca.
Michael King, Patrick Corbin. Yeah. We got our local guys, our upstate New Yorkers.
I think in only one major league player went to my school, Brad Peacock.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't think Michael King went to our school, but
no, he didn't.
By my school's baseball field, number 8, and it says Brad Peacock. And fun fact, he was actually a third baseman until he said to the coach, he's like, "Yo, I want to try pitching," and he was a better pitcher. He had some speed and amp, and he started off as a pitcher.
Cool.
Huh. I was just converted to a pitcher yesterday.
Well, what's your natural position though? What did you start off as?
I was an outfielder for 4 or 5 years, and then Jason Wasserman saw me yesterday and then tried out a bullpen, 10 pitches for me, and then it turned into a 40-pitch bullpen. Nice. And I don't know, maybe I'm starting for JV as a pitcher this year. We'll see.
What position?
We gotta play catch sometime, Ben. If you want to play with some scrub.
Oh yeah, for sure. That yeah.
What up?
All right, Rodney Hale says, "What do you guys think about the Cardinals offseason?" We got into it earlier, but we think they had a great offseason. We'd like to see them do a little more pitching, but they got Nolan Arenado, so no one really cares, and they got him for nothing. So yeah.
Signed some of their nice veterans, but yeah, they didn't really average all season.
So boys,
what did you ask me?
The offseason.
I asked you, what position do you think I play? Just looking at me.
Let's see. I gotta get a nice close look in here.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting some third base vibes. Maybe.
Get the fuck out of here! Oh shoot! Oh damn!
Maybe some second base vibes.
Yeah,
right?
Second base is my position.
They say, look at that.
I have noodle arms.
Oh, you can't throw?
No, I can. I'm just and I just eat it to second. I'm really good with sidearm, because all I do is sidearm. I don't know why. I think it's just natural. So they're always
Jonathan Vial.
Well, I mean, that works from second. I mean,
right?
I mean, yeah.
I,
Returning too.
my original was like my original position was supposed to be outfield, left or right. But reading the ball, I mean, I was average. I wasn't like Nimmo crap. But then it was like hating because all I would do was sidearm to the cutoff man, and like everyone would.
That's so weird.
Interesting.
That's terrible.
So like, hey, Hayden, why don't you try second? You know, I took some ground balls and stuff, and I did pretty good at second. So from now on, I've just been playing second. And I mean, the thing is, a lot of the people on my team really are power hitters, so they barely hit it to the infield. It's all outfield. So yeah.
Yeah,
nice. Guess what position I play.
Wait, gotta take glasses off.
I don't.
You looking like
I play
catcher
that.
to me.
That's my position. Funny story. The one year I played, the 1 year I played baseball. The 1 year I played baseball was in 3rd grade back in New York City, and I really wanted to play catcher. And my second game, they told me I could play, but then they said, because Ben, what?
I guessed catcher, just for whatever reason.
No. I'm not done yet. They said you could play catcher, and then they said because I didn't have a cup. So I was like, "What's a cup?" And they explained it, you know. So I couldn't play, and then I played the outfield, which I hated. I made a game-saving catch once, though, a game-ending catch, which was dope, out in center. But I mean, I was shit at baseball back in 3rd grade. It's 3rd grade. I remember when I played catcher, first time everything hit the backstop. You couldn't steal on a pass ball because like 3rd grade, because the catchers couldn't catch anything. But I just wanted to wear the equipment, and then of course our one good pitcher who could actually throw hard, which it's throwing hard for what is it?
3rd grader,
an 8-year-old. It's not that much, but yeah. But he hurt our catcher. He got a thumb bruise, so I had to come in and catch. Bro, I was scared. Literally everything hit the backstop. I didn't catch shit that day. So that's my basic career in a nutshell. And then I retired.
In like 4th and 5th grade, I played catcher, and I remember that we played on a turf this one game, like, because whatever field, I think we were playing like East Rochester or something. This was just like normal summer ball, so everybody played everywhere. I played catcher for a couple innings. I caught a guy stealing 3rd, and I was shit at catcher, but I caught a guy stealing at 3rd. And so now I get to walk around saying I've caught people stealing like in an actual game. And I just think I'm the shit because of it. Because let's be honest, nobody ever caught anybody stealing. And even though that wasn't my position and I sucked ass at catcher, that's still probably my proudest baseball moment.
Catcher, I'm not bad at. Like, I'm good with kneeling for a long amount of time and stuff. It's just more if someone were to steal it, like, I can get up quickly. Just throwing from kneeling, I can't really do. So I'd have to get up.
Yeah, you sidearm?
No, I don't
sidearm from catcher.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just checking.
Though, but I'm getting better from not sidearming though. But yeah, primarily second my position. You know, when I was like in little league and stuff in early middle school, they threw me all over: first base, shortstop, catcher. The only thing I never was pitcher because I mean I had good velocity, just my accuracy and control was pretty crappy. I'd throw high and kids would get triggered and think I'm trying to throw at them. And
for real in Little League? Wow.
Move around a lot. I didn't really have faith in the catchers, and yeah, no.
That's so funny because I went through the similar situation. Like I tried getting onto a mound during summer ball last year because there was no school ball.
I don't know what the hell happened. I got kicked off, and then it seemed like you guys I texted you. Did you get kicked off? But anyways, my Wi-Fi is shit. My computer's gonna die. You guys mind if we end the stream here or just wrap it up?
Yeah, sure. Can I finish? Can I finish my story?
You got your exit, and then Ben. Oh yeah, finish up. My bad.
All right. So basically, I had been dying to get on the mound all season over the summer, and my coach just didn't want to see it because I had never pitched before. I never had any experience. But I study pitching like more than anything else. And so I went to a private with a guy named Wasserman who like runs the entirety of the baseball at Brighton. So I threw a 10-pitch bullpen, and now he wants to convert me to like a full-time pitcher with like 3, 4, 5-pitch arsenal for either JV or varsity. So I'm like so fucking happy. because
Yo,
pitcher is
that
like
should be
my
our
dream
50 sub
position.
special. I have to catch you.
Yeah,
If you got gear, then I'd consider it. But no, how hard do you throw?
I'm not really sure, to be completely honest. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I
Hey, we'll see.
kind of, I guess, average, maybe slightly above.
With like a four-seamer, how do you typically grip it? More like this?
Okay, I got a ball right here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, here we
Here
go.
we go.
So,
No, you guys are good.
Or freaking
yep, this is like gonna be an hour-long talk. This is my signed Severino ball. Oh wow.
You got a ball
so
signed from Severino? Oh shit.
No, I didn't get it signed by Severino. Severino threw it to me, and then I got Abraham Almonte's signature. So my
nice.
four seam, I split over the top, get my thumb on this bottom seam here. Then I also throw a sinker in which my thumb is on the bottom seam, but I keep both fingers on the leather just so I can get that straight single seam direction orientation. I throw a knuckle curve like this. It would basically be like a slider grip on a two seam, but then I spike it. I do actually spin it just like a slider, so it does have slider movement, but and like velocity. It's weird. It's cool though. And I am in the process of developing a changeup in which instead of throwing with my middle and pointer finger, I'm throwing it with my pinky and ring finger, which I just think is the coolest thing ever. It looks so weird, but it works so well.
It's like Luis Castillo.
Now, when you grip the ball,
yeah, almost.
dig your fingernail into the stitching, or do you lay it flat?
Yeah, I do not like using my fingernails. I have a tendency to bite them, so I just lay my finger like
because
that.
Control with your fingernail, it's just I have less control, and if I'm holding right, better velocity, more control with fingernail, I'll pop it out, or I don't know.
Yeah, and then you'll spike your fingernail and it hurts.
Yeah, I got thin nails, so I can't do any of that. But anyways, guys, we got to get you guys on a stream to nerd out sometime. But we're gonna end it here. Yeah, we'll start a new show, Nerding Out with Hayden. Hayden, thank you so much. The original plan was to take the load off me because of my wisdom teeth, but they're honestly feeling okay, and I couldn't resist talking. So Hayden, appreciate you coming in, man. Instead of calling in, you came on for the whole time. Hayden, you know what to do, my man. But bam, Ben, close us out. Why don't you?
Track, wall, see.